Alright, so before I say anything else, I want to say that right from the start on the channel, we speculated that Wutai and Avalanche were working together. That Avalanche was going to have like a big presence in Wutai, right? We were 100% correct. Correct! Give yourselves a pat on the back. Everybody who was speculating that here with me. A lot of y'all were agreeing and saying the same thing, so Avalanche and Wutai absolutely working together. Absolutely working together, so we got that right. What is happening, everybody? So, if you're anything like me, and if you come to the channel, I'm sure you are, you're still pretty much buzzing about that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade presentation that we got the other day at the Sony State of Play. I've been looking over it for a few days. I know a lot of you all have been messaging me and wanting to know kind of, you know, what I think about everything. I've been breaking it down. I've really been looking at it, listening to it, observing it. I'm trying to decide if there's anything worth catching in here that they kind of hid in the trailer. And there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff that they put in this trailer. We're going to break down some of it for you all real quick. So right off the bat, when they showed this shot right here where Yuffie starts talking in the trailer, look at the symbols around the outside of it. Before they even showed Yuffie, I was like, oh my god, it's Yuffie. Because these are the symbols, the language of Wutai right here. I'm not sure what alphabet this is based on. I don't think this is katakana or kanji or anything like that. To me, it looks more Chinese. I don't know. So if whatever language this is based on, whatever the symbols are based on, y'all can let me know in the comments. But right off the bat, I was like, this is gonna be a Yuffie reveal. We see the giant Moogle in the background here, which, you know, could be a little Easter egg for Kate Shi for later, because he's got a giant Mog. I mean, his is like huge. It's humongous. It's much bigger than this. But anyway, I thought that was a nice little touch. So whatever room they're in here in this intro piece here, there is a item box with a weapon or an accessory or something in the back there. Because in Remake, all the boxes that were lit up with purple had some sort of equipment in it and not items or materia. There is some kind of equipment in this box back here. In this room, they went ahead and showed you that wherever you're starting the story, you will start by getting a piece of equipment back here. And I have had people tell me that this kind of looks like underneath Seventh Heaven, the Avalanche hideout that we never got to see. This isn't it, because this has a staircase going down. Seventh Heaven has the pinball machine elevator going underground, so this is not Seventh Heaven, because you can clearly see the stairway right here, and it's the same stairway that Sonan comes down in just a moment. This is an Avalanche cell waiting to be activated. This girl right here, I don't think she's Wutai, I think she's Avalanche. These other guys sitting around here, these are definitely Avalanche guys. And look back here, right back here, you can see this diagram right here. This looks like the makings of a reactor, like maybe a Mako holding area of the reactor, where you see Barrett and Cloud blow up the first reactor, and then they go into the second reactor. Maybe this Avalanche cell's kind of thinking the same thing. So it kind of looks the same, kind of looks like a holding tank facility. Of course, it could be something else. There's shapes over here on the side, right here. They kind of look like they could be vehicles. I kind of thought this kind of looked like the submarine right here. The submarine you get, the red one that you go underwater to look for the huge materia, and you find the crashed Galinka. So I thought this was kind of interesting, right? This right here kind of looks like a boss fight area. Like they have diagrams on like the inside of reactors and all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely some kind of Shinra installation right here. Maybe it's deep ground. Maybe they're trying to find something about deep ground. Maybe they know something about it. Anyway, possibilities are limitless. Moving on. And many of you have asked if I think this is Cicene. I don't think this is Cicene. I believe this is a new character. I believe everybody in this room is a new character, including Sonan Kusakube. So at first, I know, I was like, is that Zack? That's Zack. That's f***ing Zack. I was incorrect. This is Sonan, and he's a new character. I dig the direction they're going with this. I like what they're doing with it too, because it gives you a tease for how Sid Highwind might work. Great stuff here. This is obviously the scene after Cloud falls and they're bombing the reactor, and he falls into Aerith's church, and of course this is them coming back without Cloud, and this is Biggs being upset that they came back without Cloud. This is important to show the audience, because this is telling us that when you see this girl, who her name escapes me, Yuffie and Sonan, they are arriving on the scene in Sector 7 right here as Tifa and Barrett come back. This is after the second reactor was bombed, or the attempted bombing on the second reactor. They're trying to find the avalanche cell responsible. Now, pay attention to this. It's really hard to make out that tag right there, but that looks like the avalanche logo. That looks like the avalanche logo, ASO. Who knows? That could mean anything. We don't know. I'm not really sure what that means. That could be any number of things. So ASO. So avalanche something office, operative, officer, avalanche senior officer, maybe? We don't know. We don't know. Her name, she would not have a name tag if she was part of a terrorist organization, right? Because you don't want that information to be picked up by cameras and whatnot. So I'm going with avalanche senior officer. That's what I'm going with right now. And I love this scene right here, Yuffie's giddiness and Sonan's stoic demeanor. These, of course, are the two Shinra lackeys that are standing guard outside the gate in Sector 7 when you got the train station. These are the guys that eventually, this lackey right here tells this guy, this commanding officer, that he's letting everybody through when the Sector 7 plate's about to fall. That's those guys. This guy right here is an Avalanche member as well. How do I know that? Because of his name tag, not name tag, that he's wearing. There's that Avalanche logo again that the other girl had on. Army. G something Avalanche Army. So the G here, I don't know what this stands for. Could be a Q, could be a G. It's not really that clear to me. I think it's a G, but let me know what you all think. And there's a little attention to detail on something here. Yuffie's clothes are very tattered. Who is this reminiscent of, and who is this giving us a tease for, possibly? I think the way her clothes move in this scene, and the way her tattered rags flow, I feel like this gives us a really good tease for how Vincent's aesthetic is going to play in the next game. I really do. I think it looks good. I think this is a little tease that they're giving us for how Vincent might look. The wall climbing right here. This is some Ninja Gaiden-ish. It's some Ninja Gaiden-ish right here. Some Strider. I love it. I love it. And this is kind of like what Red 13 does in the drum in Hojo's level in the Shinra Tower. Now look at this. I hear people crying and bemoaning. Oh, this is going to be retreading the areas we've been in. Nope. This is Sector 2. Look, we have never seen or been in Sector 2. This is where they're at. Sector 2. It's even labeled all the stuff when they went to Sector 5. Everything was 5-5-. Sector 2. Sector 2 right there. Different ways of traversing different areas. I love this. This is a new area. We've never seen this area. I'm assuming this is somewhere out underneath Sector 2. Maybe the Sector 2 slums possibly right here. I love right here that it's new options for attaining the boxes. With Yuffie, it looks like there's a ton of boxes over here. And just kind of dotting the landscape back here. Different places you can go. And I love that Yuffie seems to be able to traverse many different types of terrain to reach different unreachable areas. I love it. I think it's great. One of the things I love about just Yuffie being the main playable character in this is it gives them time to fix the camera. Because what did I say? I said the camera will have to be fixed for Yuffie. Camera absolutely has to be fixed for Yuffie and Vincent the way they fly around. The camera tracking on the character here is so much smoother because you only have to focus on Yuffie. You don't have to switch back and forth between different teammates. I don't think you'll switch to Sonan. I believe he is going to be able to trigger things. I think he will fight on his own. But if you look right here, the camera is much smoother. It's not jumping around. It's not all wonky. I think they've improved that. Or they've just made it to where you focus on Yuffie and the camera doesn't have to juggle between different characters. Some great tag team action here. This is a new area. We've never seen this area. So we've seen the enemies, but we've never seen the area. This right here, this is great double team. Double text. Double text. Chrono Trigger remake confirmed. I love it. And if you look at the HUD down here in the bottom, you've got Yuffie, you've got Sonan. It seems like he's active, but I think what this is, and I could be wrong, you might be able to play as Sonan. I could be wrong, but my gut tells me right here, because it always says retrieve and attack down here. Sonan's doing his thing, it's always a double team attack. You never see any single player abilities focused on Sonan. It's always like support, right? So I think that's what he's going to be here in the game. This double team attack right here is sick. This seems to be some kind of double team tech special. Different glow. He throws her. Here comes Sonan. You all do the same move. Bam. It's like a double braver. Like a double braver. See? Yuffie's got the braver animation, and then Sonnen comes in with his own version of it. Wham! Drop the hammer. Looks so good. Here's Yuffie's limit activating. You can see down here, she uses up this limit gauge. She shines red. I think this is either Grease Lightning or Doom of the Living. Yeah, that might be Grease Lightning. And I love the little leaves. The little Wu-Tai touch right there. All these little leaves. It's got like almost like an autumn in Japan kind of look to it. That's fantastic touch. I love that. It's reminiscent of Wu-Tai. It's got the Wu-Tai colors, the autumn colors. I love it. Fantastic. That might be a combination of Grease Lightning and Doom of the Living. It might be a combo of the two. I don't know. Jury's out. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Now this boss fight right here. This is the boss fight for Yuffie's scenario, I do believe. Now, we all know that the Shinra bosses are all like zodiac signs, right? They like to use zodiac signs, different things. Final Fantasy Tactics is a big one, but I think this right here, if they hold true to that, Crab was Cancer, the Crab Warden, Scorpion Sentinel was, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. It might be one of my favorite boss fights. I don't know. But this right here, if I'm rolling the dice and I'm just throwing a name out there, I'm going to say this is Pisces. I'm going to say this is like some Pisces tank or some kind of like Pisces Guardian or something like that. As you see, Sonnen gets a limit gauge too. This attack right here, I'm not really sure what to make of this. This thing she's doing right here, this is a Yuffie special attack because it's got the Wu-Tai symbols in it. It's got the Wu-Tai characters in it. So I think that's pretty cool. It's not a limit because she hasn't used her limit gauge. Sonnen hasn't used his. It's not a double tech. This is just some kind of special ability that Yuffie can do, and it probably has something to do with her weapon. It's probably a weapon special, like you learn different abilities with different weapons. This is probably like Pinwheel or something like that, and it's probably her weapon special ability. And the tank was immune to it, so it didn't matter. But this is really cool. This graphic here is really cool. This is nice. This is really nice. And again, here we go. So this right here, I wanted you all to see. What does this remind you of? Boom. What is that? What is this a shot-for-shot recreation of? That's right. This is a recreation of the shot from Advent Children when Sid Highwind launches Cloud Strife into the air against Bahamut. This was fantastic, and this is why I'm telling you all, I think Sonnen is going to be reskinned as Sid Highwind in Remake Part 2. I think this is a testing ground for that. I think we get Sid Highwind in Remake Part 2 now. After seeing him and the way he plays, I really think there's a great chance. After seeing how they've made him play, I think there's a great chance that Sid Highwind will just be a reskin of Sonnen because it's polearms and spears, right? Tridents and all that kind of stuff. That's what Sid Highwind uses. This position right here, they're about the same build, right? I don't know if Sid Highwind's a little bit shorter, a little bit taller than the Sonnen guy. I don't really know how that's going to work, but I think what they'll do is everything that Sonnen can do, you won't play as Sonnen. You can't get his abilities and stuff because they're going to be just pre-made, pre-rendered for the game. But I think they'll reskin Sid Highwind onto this character for battles and things. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're going to do with this guy. All right, so Blonde Avalanche G-Unit Army guy here. I think he's talking about Shinra. I think he's got some intelligence on Shinra. I think he's intercepted a message. I think he's telling Sonnen and Yuffie here.
We get moving.
Got it.
Whatever it is they're planning, you're better off out of it.
I think he's telling him that they need to stay out of whatever's going on. So naturally, what does that mean? I mean, naturally that means that they're going to get involved because that's Yuffie's character, right? So I think she's going to have a crisis of conscience about what's happening. Now, we get a little bit about Sonnen here.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do, but I'm not your sister.
I think Sonnen, when he's talking here, he says they deserve whatever they get or what's coming to them. I think he's talking about Barrett's avalanche cell. And the reason I say that is because he seems to have some kind of like regret or some kind of negativity, and he seems to know him and Yuffie seem to know that Sector 7 and the blonde guy probably let them know something about Sector 7's about to get dealt with, right? This is before Sector 7's plate drops. Now I think right here when Yuffie's telling him, look, hey, that's great and all, buddy, but look, I'm not your sister. I think Barrett's avalanche cell was deemed rogue because he got some avalanche people killed doing some extreme stuff, just like he's doing with Jesse Biggs and Wedge right now and Tifa. I think Sonan's sister was killed in a activity or a mission led by Barrett, and he got exiled from the main avalanche group. That's just my early guess on what's going on with the story with Sonan here. So let's keep going. Also, I think it's interesting, this shot right here, because doesn't this look like the weapons shop guy that's got an attitude with Cloud and Tifa right here? I think that might be the weapons shop guy, so they could be leaving Sector 7 right here. This might be them on the train leaving Sector 7 to go somewhere else. And then obviously right here, this is Deep Ground Soldiers. They have stumbled upon the Deep Ground Soldiers getting into some business somehow. And then check out Yuffie here. Check out Yuffie with the Liu Kang homage right here. Woo! Liu Kang air kick from Yuffie. Liu Kang Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 cameo confirmed. Deep Ground Soldiers are getting taken out. Things are getting wacky. So take a good look at the background here. All this angular design and everything. This does not look like a reactor, right? I was thinking at first this could be a reactor. This does not look like a reactor. This looks more like Hojo's lab. This looks a lot like the drum to me, but I don't think it is. That's why I think it could be, you could stumble into Deep Ground's facility. This could be Reactor 0. See the terminal over here? See the big door right here? Elevator, they probably came down or something like that, but this kind of looks like a reactor, but it's not structured the same way as most of the reactors in the game, or the two reactors we see in the game are. Not structured the same way. So this could be Reactor 0. They could be there. They could be in Deep Ground headquarters right here. Now for the big one everybody's been talking about, or those of you that know the game lore are actually talking about. Weiss. Weiss is arrived. And I think it's interesting, some of the stuff they're showing here for him. Now I've got a theory on Weiss now. So look, right here. You see this 1, it looks like a 1 pop up right here, right? The number 1, or it's just a shape. I don't think it has any significance, but whatever. So, I love what they do right here with these shapes in the background and the shape of a wing behind him. So the wing design here is really cool. I love all these shapes. Now look in the background here. You see these little angles and all this stuff. This is the simulator. This is the simulation chamber. Like when you fight the AI, like when you're doing little missions and stuff for Chadley. Like this is the AI simulator, right? But hold on, because this might be a development for the AI simulator as well. What could it be? What was Weiss's thing he could do, right? Weiss the Immaculate, at the end of Dirge of Cerberus, in his battle with Chaos-infused Vincent, they had this battle in this digital realm, right? Because of all the Hojo nonsense and all that. You can get into all that if you want to. I'm not getting into it here. But the background looked very similar to this. Very similar to this. So, what if Chadley, the AI simulator, all that kind of stuff is something that is just a construct of Weiss? He says he's collecting data for Shinra, the R&D department, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what he said he's collecting it for. Developing new materia, all that kind of stuff. What if Weiss, who is currently asleep or doing something at this point in the story, right, underneath by Reactor 0 in the Deep Ground facility, right? What if he awakens and corrupts the system? Because here's the thing. He exists. He currently exists in the story. So to make him just like an optional fighting boss or whatever would be to say now that he doesn't exist. Whether you love it or hate it, or you want them to delete it, or you think it's the greatest thing ever made, you can't reference some of the compilation and say the rest of it doesn't exist. If you're going to use it all, you got to use it all. I'm not a big Weiss fan. I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm not a big Dirge of Cerberus fan. I like some of the lore. I like some of the characters. I'm not a big fan of his, right? I got excited because to me it confirmed they are using every bit of everything they've ever done. Which, of course, for me, just means they're one step further to Genesis and me going into the camera the whole time while you all get mad at me in the comment section. But yes, this confirms Dirge of Cerberus. This confirms Crisis Core before Crisis. All of it. All of it's on the table. And all of it is going to be used in some way. Now, whether he's just like an optional boss battle like Top Secrets or something like that, which I still can't beat and get my platinum on, remains to be seen. But I do believe he's gonna have more to do with the story, and he's gonna exist. He's gonna be like the Lawnmower Man, right? He's gonna exist in the digital realm. I think that would be cool to have some kind of like computer virus type character, like an Agent Smith or something like that, just exist in the construct of the AI, and you're in there trying to do your AI missions and stuff, and he's like this horrible random battle that will just show up. That would be cool, right? That would be really cool. It's like, oh god damn it, I gotta fight Vice. I want to just do some grinding and fight these guys in the simulator and get some EXP, but no, I gotta fight Vice now. I think that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. So as far as the visual stuff, that's what I saw. That's what I found. That's what I dug into. Now, the big takeaway for me, and you all know how I love music. I love the score in video games and stuff. They remix Yuffie's Final Fantasy VII theme in the trailer. It's a couple different ways, and there's one theme.
Well, guys, your girl finally
So you can hear it
made it
here
to
in the
Midgar.
background for the first time if you listen.
My name is Yuffie, Materia Hunter and Elite Special Forces operative
Yuffie's
for the new
theme from
Wutai
Final Fantasy
government.
VII.
We'll prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be.
Sonon Kusakabe. Where's Clown?
We lost him.
You what?
He will be okay though, right?
Well, of course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors.
Cool. Should we say hi?
And if you listen right here, they cut in some really nice editing, like with the music, is like touches of Yuffie's theme and a tense version of like a battle theme. But the main line underplaying piece of music is a arrangement of the Wutai theme. This is really good. Listen to this.
No freaking way!
Boss!
Get wrecked!
You guys should probably get moving.
Got it.
Whatever it is they're planning, you're better off out of it.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do, but I'm not your sister.
And actually, during the Final Fantasy VII Intergrade showcase for all the different features and stuff that are going to be in the new game, they actually played a really clear version of Yuffie's remixed battle theme in there.
That's how ninjas do it.
Yep.
That's how ninjas do it. I can't wait. I can't wait. This looks great. So there we have it. That's my breakdown of the Yuffie stuff. I thought it was great. I think she's going to be a good character. I think the Sonon character, these new characters they keep adding to the story are good. I haven't seen any bad characters or reworks on characters they've done yet. They're at least good, right? To excellent. I'm really looking for where it goes. This shot of Yuffie right here is not the bubbly Yuffie we see earlier in the trailer. This is more of the cynical, downtrodden, not downtrodden, because she's still like, the yuck yuck yuck. She makes little yuck 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 laughs and jokes in Final Fantasy VII. But she's a bit harder. She looks a bit harder here. And I think this is throughout her episode. I think you'll see her get a little bit harder. Now, I have seen people already talking about how, they already got Yuffie's character wrong. She's too lighthearted. She was a lighthearted character in the original. She had some baggage and stuff going on, but she was always like, yuck, yuck, yuck. And she was always cutting jokes with everybody, and she would get motion sick on the high wind. I mean, there was some comic relief to Yuffie. Y'all need to go back and play that game. Go. Professor says to go back and play the game, the original, and they come back and be like, oh yeah, Yuffie had a lot of comic relief moments. She's fine. I love it. She's fine. She's gonna be good. Anyway, if you all caught something I didn't catch, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of that. Subscribe to the channel. Like if you didn't like the video already. If you dug it, if you're still here, you liked the video, so go ahead and hit the thumb. And I will catch you all in the next video. Y'all be safe out there, be good to each other, and keep rocking. I'll see you all very soon.